You ever experience audio noise, crackling, instability in your computer system, the blue screen? Well, it may not be your rig. Today we're going to take a look at the Tripp-Lite Isobar. So as many of us upgrade our computer systems, we're adding faster graphics cards, processors, more storage. We add additional monitors, could be cameras, audio interfaces, studio monitors, USB charging devices. The list is endless. Well, it's great to have all these features. The problem is sometimes we get unwanted side effects like audio noise, crackling, crashes, instability. These are all things that sometimes can be solved with software settings. Sometimes they're about cable management. But when you've tried everything and you still can't understand where the problems are coming from, one of the last places people look is usually electrical interference. And with electrical interference, what happens is one device can actually impede the performance of another. And when you think about it, probably all of your devices or most of them are plugged into the same power bar. We're told to do that because it eliminates ground loops. The problem is that once you have many devices plugged into the same power bar, they all talk to each other through the power line. So the interference being created by each device is just adding to each other, and sometimes it can be enough to actually cause your computer to crash, or like I said, to get noise in your audio. So in this video, we're going to take a look at the Tripp-Lite Isobar. This is a power bar unlike regular power bars because what it does is it provides isolation between each plug on the power strip. So the interference from one device is not passed to the other, and therefore we can really minimize that additive effect. These power bars are used all the time in the medical field. We see them in hospitals where many complex monitoring devices are connected together, and you just can't afford to have interference causing incorrect readings. And so, what about using this for a computer? So first I'll unbox the Isobar 8. We'll talk about some of the features that it has. We'll go through some of the performance specs, and we'll see if this actually makes a difference. In this video, we'll be looking at the Tripp-Lite Isobar Ultra 8 outlet edition. And so let's take it out of the box. This is a very heavy unit, without question, much heavier than other power bars that I've used. So we have the bar itself here packaged in some cardboard, so we'll pull it out of that. Appears we also have an instruction book, owner's manual, some warranty information here. And then we have the bar itself. This is a very heavy-duty power cord with some outlet cap covers. So you can see right off the bat, this is very well made. We have the outlets spaced far enough apart so that we can go ahead and plug wall warts in if we need to. We have hangers to hang this to a wall or under a desk, so great for cable management. All metal construction, line OK fault and protection indicators. This looks like a great unit. Now, a high-quality computer power supply usually does a good job at providing pretty clean power to your system and introduces minimal noise into the AC line. But all your other devices that include wall warts, power bricks, they tend to introduce a lot more interference. And while they may appear equal, they certainly are not. Many of the inexpensive wall warts tend to introduce a lot of interference into your AC line. And this can feed back through your computer and cause your microphone to crackle or your speakers to pop and hiss, or even worse, make your system crash or get a blue screen. This is where the Isobar comes in. It'll separate out that noise and make sure it stays put with each of these devices. Now, the best thing to do, of course, is to use quality power adapters that introduce as little noise as possible. But we can't always be certain, and sometimes we end up with a proprietary adapter that we just can't replace so easily. So this is where, again, the Isobar is going to come in. By isolating the noise between each device, we're going to find that we get far less interference where it counts, where we can hear it in our audio and where our system experiences instability. So I'm going to show you a few tests with and without the Isobar. We'll take a look at the static that comes through on my condenser microphone, and we'll also take a look at the hiss that comes through the audio system. So I'm going to use the Reaper plugin Reefer to measure the background noise coming from my shotgun condenser microphone. First, we'll test it without the Tripp-Lite Isobar and then with, and we'll see if there's any difference. So now I have my system hooked up without the Tripp-Lite Isobar, and we'll take a look at the reefer display to see how much noise is coming through. And now I'll go ahead and connect my components through the Isobar and we'll see if it makes a difference. So this is the reading from Reaper's plug-in reefer with the Tripp-Lite Isobar connected. Now we'll test the audio output to my studio monitors and see if the Tripp-Lite Isobar makes a difference. So I'm going to be quiet and let you listen to the background hiss without the Isobar. And now I've connected the Isobar and we'll see if that made a difference. So I hope you're enjoying this video and it's helping you out. And if you are, please smash that like button. It really helps out the channel. It helps me have an idea of what kind of content you'd like to see. And think about subscribing so you don't miss any of my new content coming out weekly. Okay, let's get back to the Tripp-Lite Isobar. Now, I'm not suggesting that electrical interference is the cause of all problems with computer audio, video, and with system instability. But often when you've tried everything, like adjusting buffer settings and rearranging drivers and configurations and rerouting your cables, and you still can't solve the problem, electrical noise can often be the culprit. So if you've tried to fix your computer instability or audio noise problems, think about trying a power bar that isolates the individual items you have plugged in, like the Isobar. Now, many of us use a UPS or uninterruptible power supply, and these claim to have filtering properties for AC noise. Of course, they provide protection from brownouts and blackouts, but the issue with many of them, particularly those that are inexpensive, is they don't provide any isolation between the outlets. So while it may be taking electrical noise out that's coming from the wall, all the devices plugged into the UPS could be causing interference with each other. And on top of it, we have the transformer charging devices itself in the UPS that can introduce noise. And so depending on the kind of UPS you have, you may have purchased that to solve your problem and found it didn't work. Now, the Tripp-Lite Isobar is not an inexpensive solution, but when you compare it to all the other devices that you can try that may or may not work, it's not a bad investment. The Isobar 8 that I'm using in this video is available for around $80 on Amazon at the time of recording. And they make models with anywhere from 2 outlets up to 12 outlets, so there should be a solution that fits your needs. And an added benefit of using a device like the Isobar is its known reliability and safety. Power bars can be very inexpensive or very expensive, and there is a difference. The gauge of the wire used inside makes a difference, as do the connections. And with the more and more devices you plug in, particularly if you have a high-powered computer and graphics card with a large power supply, you may find that these really inexpensive power bars are not going to be a good choice. Whereas the Tripp-Lite has the capability to handle the power requirements you're going to throw at it. So it not only might solve your noise issues and your instability issues, but it also might save your home. My channel includes product reviews, how-to guides, basically anything to answer your questions. Hopefully you find them interesting and maybe help you out. Consider checking out one of the other videos on the screen or the playlist. And subscribe so you don't miss any of my new content coming weekly. As always, take care everyone, and we'll see you next time.